Welcome back to Pop Culture Explosion. I'm Mike, and I'm here with Paul.
Here at Pop Culture Explosion, we watch all the zombie movies, whether they're running, they're walking, they're just zombified, or they're thinking. Mike, what are we talking about today?
Today, we are talking about Patient Zero.
Patient Zero, Mike. This is a diamond in the rough. Thank you so much for bringing this to my attention.
Oh, you're quite welcome. I've been watching a lot of zombie fare a bit lately, and ton of good stuff out there. And this one, we've got to talk about. It's one of the top, probably in the top 10 of movies I've seen lately with the zombies. And each zombie movie has to differentiate itself from the next, I find. And talk a little bit about how this one is different.
Well, here's a brief synopsis of Patient Zero. Basically, it is a super virus that has turned humankind into a highly intelligent, streamlined set of killers. And there's this asymptomatic victim, Matt Smith, who is a former doctor in Doctor Who has the ability to communicate with the infected, and he must lead the survivors on a hunt for Patient Zero to find the cure. But that is not where the story ends.
So talk about that for a second. You mentioned asymptomatic. Is that the right word?
Yes.
Which means he's infected, but he didn't turn.
Correct.
That's key.
Yes, and that is a key driving point for this movie. That yes, he was bitten, he was infected, but it didn't change him into a zombie. He still had all of his mental capacities. He was emotional. Yeah, he was just a normal person that can now talk to the zombies.
Yeah, and they're trying to use his abilities to talk to these, zombie guys that they capture or whatever to figure out where Patient Zero is at.
Now, there are probably three different aspects of this movie I would like to chat about. One, the subversion of expectations. Secondly, we have ourselves a phenomenal cast. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, you will recognize several actors. If you're a Doctor Who fan, you should be just jumping out of your seat. But also just the tension of this movie. So Mike, let's talk about the subversion of expectations with this film. Mm-hmm. Okay, so basically, there were several tropes that we were expecting to happen that didn't. For example, we have John Bradley, who played Scooter. I thought he was going to live. No, he didn't. He died. I was expecting a cure at the end. No, that didn't happen. And the thing is, though, they did it correctly. They did it right. There's other movies that we watched in the past, Star Wars, The Last Jedi, where they subverted expectations and just were like flat, where this movie, it did it well.
Yeah, and I mean, going back to like Scooter's character, I've seen enough of these movies lately. Pretty much everybody dies. So you can just kind of look at a character like that, in my opinion, and be like, yeah, he's totally going to die. It's just a matter of how. But, there was a moment in there where I thought, maybe he could live because it was the arm, right? They were going to cut his arm off. But no, he turned. So I can't say I was really surprised because when, we're watching these movies, we're calling it out at the screen. Okay, he's going to die. Okay. Oh, they're going to do this. We're totally like seeing what would, do the opposite of whatever the trope.
And the thing is, though, like that Christine, as you guys know, Christine and I, we watched the same movies together, and she was rooting for him so hard. And when he ended it, she was like, no, she was so upset. So, you know what, since we're already in this path, let's talk about the actors and the characters in this movie. John Bradley, he did a great job. He also is a well-known actor in Game of Thrones. Let's talk about Clive Standen, who played Knox, the douchebag colonel in the military.
Well, okay, so you had mentioned when we talked about it earlier before the video about him possibly getting redeemed, because that's an opportunity for a character like that to, get redeemed somehow. Like, he's a douche. All of a sudden, no, he saves the day. No, he died a douche.
He died a douche. Yeah, when he did the action of killing Scooter, I'm like, you know what? This guy has potential to be a hero. Nope. Expectation subversion. He died a coward, and that was interesting.
Would you say his character was a trope?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was just the douchebag military guy that can fire a gun, and he was just a roadblock for our primary protagonist. Let's talk about the actor that stole the show.
Well, to me, that's Stanley Tucci.
He was amazing.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
Yeah. Here we have this zombified psychopath that was smoking a cigarette, enjoying the music, having a nice conversation with our friend Morgan, and he went from polite, respectful professor to instant psychopath, homicidal maniac.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a few standout scenes in the movie, but one of my favorites is the final fight between Morgan and the professor. I believe that's his credit. The professor. Their fight at the end. That was exciting. That was fun. I love the character. I love that this whatever virus or super virus or whatever, he was all arrogant about it. Like, we're the next stage in evolution, beyond the humans and all this stuff. So to me, that was, each zombie movie has to have some kind of fresh take on the whole genre or whatever. And I think that this one did that pretty well.
Yeah, I was again, every time he's on screen, regardless of the movie, Stanley Tucci is always a win, in my opinion.
Well, he has a presence.
Yes, he does.
For sure. Yeah.
So, Matt Smith, a.k.a. Doctor Who, a.k.a. Morgan, I was not really impressed with this character.
Well, to be honest with you, half of the movie I didn't realize it was Doctor Who. I'm like, where do I know this guy? Why do I know this guy? And then I think I went on IMDb or something to look at it and go, oh, that's who it is. Duh.
And in the trailer, and I'm not
Doctor Who I watch.
I'm not a Doctor Who fan at all. I'm like, oh, that's a Doctor Who actor. Yeah, I thought that the love triangle between him, his wife, and Dr. Rose, it wasn't compelling. I didn't see chemistry between him and the good doctor, and I saw no chemistry between him and his wife. I just thought, of all the actors and all the characters, he was the weakest one, in my opinion. Now let's talk about the protagonist in this movie, and that would be Natalie Dormer, who played Dr. Gina Ross. And if you're a Game of Thrones fan, you will recognize her as well. She was amazing. I loved her character. I loved how she stood up against Knox, how she stood up against the infected Stanley Tucci. She just did a great job.
Yeah, I enjoyed her character too. She's easy on the eyes. She's a strong female character. She held her own against the douchebag Knox. I think that she did a good job.
Yeah, and she actually stood up against the generals, telling them that we got to get this done, or this is going to happen all over again. So the cast as a whole, I really enjoyed. Let's talk about the zombie. What did you think of this take of the zombie?
I like it. As I said, I watch a lot of these type of movies, and each one of them seems to bring a little something. You got to have something that's just a little bit different in each one. So this was good enough. I thought it was good, and they all get pretty redundant after a while. So you're just a fan of the genre. So yeah. I like that they were intelligent, or they knew what was up. They planned, to infiltrate the human base and all that stuff. So that's different.
They attacked the compound.
Yeah.
They attacked the compound. And I did love the fact that at the end of the movie, Morgan's wife, she took one for the team. I mean, she was infected. She was one of them, and she still loved her husband enough to sacrifice herself to save them, which I thought was just amazing.
Well, some of the standout scenes were, the stuff with Scooter, and then when they were escaping towards the end, they were in those ducts above the compound.
Oh, that was stressful.
Yeah, that was really good. And then, of course, the end battle.
Yeah, so Mike, final thoughts on Patient Zero?
Final thoughts on Patient Zero. Definitely in my top zombie movies of late. Definitely replay value. So I would definitely watch it again. I probably will here soon. You can get it on one of the streaming services. You can just Google it, or Paul said you can get it on YouTube, or Amazon, I'm sure, if you have Prime. And I would recommend it.
Yeah, I loved it. I'm a total zombie geek fan. I love 28 Days Later. I love The Walking Dead. Night of the Dead, Day of the Dead. Love all those movies, and this is right up there. And Mike, I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of a 10-point scale.
Yeah, see, what I do is I have what I call a B scale. So, when you're not rating like the MCU or like, award-winning movies, you're on the B scale. So this is definitely, an 8 on the B scale for me.
All right, very good. Well, hey, guys and gals, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, smash that like button. If you didn't like it, you know what? Hit the dislike button. I totally get it. And hey, let's continue the conversation down below in the comment section. That really helps the channel. And for future content, hit that subscribe button for future content. So, Mike, with that being said, peace out.